With Hell in a Cell in the books, just what would the fallout be? Find out as we review Monday Night Raw for the week of October 7th, 2019 on WrestleDOWN. Hey guys, are you ready for your hot tag? Because if you are, it's definitely time to war.
Hi, this is Leva Bates, aka Blue Pants, and you're watching WGS-TV.
What's up, guys? I'm the Wrestle Gamer. Welcome back to another episode of WrestleDOWN right here on WGS-TV. Joining me on the review tonight, first off, ladies and gentlemen, you see him on the opposite end of the screen. He is the Studley man, Ashley. Ashley, how you doing tonight?
I know why we cannot talk about that main event from last night. The referee said that Seth was called Colby. He broke kayfabe. Damn it, ref.
And ladies and gentlemen, he is the CEO of Hardcore Wrestling Radio, the one, the only, the always stoned and somewhat pervy Rick Head. Rick, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great. We were just talking to Billy about certain things, but we'll just get to that because I know Billy would, wind up killing the stream and probably retire forever. But I'm doing great. And yeah, again, this week's Raw was a little interesting, I guess, so to speak.
WWE ended their Hell in a Cell show last night with one of the most controversial, fucked up endings I've ever seen. It's been reported, and videos have even surfaced, of fans demanding a refund after the show went off the air. Another rumored report that I've seen circulating is Vince McMahon's response to the hostile crowd from last night. He was laughing. But none of this can be confirmed yet, so take it with a grain of salt. Now, going into Raw tonight, there were a few selling points. The Rusev-Randy Orton match, the Last Woman Standing match, and Tyson Fury having an open mic tonight. So how did it go? To answer that question, let's talk about Raw. Raw was supposed to kick off with a match between Rusev and Randy Orton, but as soon as the opening title sequence was over, we would see Rusev getting jumped by both Orton and King Corbin, who somehow found a way to fend them off. Then WWE would once again do the stupidest thing ever. And we're just in the opening segment of the show, and we already have a flag on the play! Referee, what's the call?
Personal foul, 69, offense. He was getting on the business. He played it down.
Bobby Lashley cannot cut a promo to save his fucking life. I mean, just trying to listen to what he had to say was like listening to nails on a chalkboard. It was horrendous. I don't care that he was in Rusev's robe. I don't care if he was supposed to be in their bedroom. I don't care. It was horrendous. And then Lana comes into the picture. The only thing Lana's got going for her is the fact that she's got a set of tits and blonde hair. That's the only reason why she's on TV on WWE. She's got the tits and she's got the blonde hair. That's it. No promo ability whatsoever. Not an ounce of fucking talent between the two who are in the same segment. I have to say, I wanted to vomit into a Pringles can than watch that fucking promo once again. Because it was that horrendous, Rick. It was that horrendous that I did not want to see it again.
Oh, absolutely. Like it's, but, you have to wonder if that actually giving Rusev a push, because getting Corbin, that was a huge statement. And, the segment that they're doing with Bobby Lashley is just absolutely painful. As you just using her, when I've seen her acting as CJ Perry, she's very good. But again, it's just WWE formatting, and that's where you really have to put the blame.
Lana would say that everything was in her name now, and Rusev didn't look happy, and they're joint checking account didn't exist, and then she would proceed to take off her top underneath the blankets they were in. And let's be honest. Oh, fucking hell, Ashley. And we've seen if you guys do a Google search, if you're that really interested in seeing what Lana looks like naked, just do a Google search and you can see what she looks like.
Banshee. Watch Banshee.
But
actually, yeah, she was on the last one I've seen her naked. She was on an episode of something on which I didn't follow, and then it was just pretty much somebody snorting cocaine off her tits.
Banshee. Banshee.
Well, anyway,
it's that damn bat. I can't remember what station it was on. Said it wasn't HBO.
Oh, yeah. All right.
But yeah, Banshee.
And they would have to end that segment with Lashley stupidly laughing and turning off the lamp. But Rusev and them proceed to go ham on both Randy Orton and King Corbin. And by the way, Randy, do you still like AEW? Anyway, I don't know. I don't know what else to say about that segment, Randy. I don't know what else to say about that.
That was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Up next.
But again, I guess
for Randy Orton, it was a different definition of the word.
Oh God. Anyway,
you shouldn't say that sort of thing on Twitter.
Shut up, Black.
Up next, it was the last woman standing match as Natalya took on Lacey Evans. Evans would appear with a trash can, proclaiming that she's ready to take out the trash, and take note that the trash can had Natalya's name on it. Now, considering how lame their matches have been in the past, especially including last night's match on the Hell in a Cell kickoff, they would have to do something to really impress me. Evans using the kendo stick was somewhat decent. I did like the innovation of putting Natalya in the office chair, sticking the kendo stick in the arms of the chair to kind of act as a barrier and kicking Natalya over in the chair. That trash can would come back into play as Lacey used it as a weapon against Natalya and then dumped all the trash on her. However, Lacey's moonsault off the guardrail wasn't very good. I don't know if Lacey was in the wrong spot or Natalya was in the wrong spot, but it just looked downright bad. The fight would end up on the stage where Lacey repeatedly threw Natalya into the Raw set where she slid down. I wonder how many people on the crew have actually slid down it. Natalya would then get the upper hand after a suplex on the announcer's table. She would get the upper hand and powerbomb Lacey through a table off the stage to win the last woman standing match. Now, first off, full credit to Natty for getting her footing right to make sure that the powerbomb went off smoothly. If you guys go back and watch it, you can see that Natalya delayed the powerbomb just for a few seconds because she had to make sure that her footing was in the right exact spot so that way the powerbomb could go off smoothly and that Lacey couldn't really get hurt. But secondly, after all the damage Lacey did to Natty in the match, Ashley, all it took for Natalya to win was one power bomb through a table?
Off the stage, yeah.
But still.
The majority of the match was Lacey having the one-up on Natalya.
But what I have to ask you, gentlemen, is did they deliver in the match? I mean, did they deliver on their expectations in the match?
But I kind of knew where it was going because, again, Lacey, throughout the entire match, never hit women's rights. So, as they started moving up and this and that, God. I know that it was going to try. So,
he didn't hit the finishing move, which means feud has to continue.
Oh, no.
Oh, God. I don't want to see another one.
Hey. If the feud had to continue when Kenny couldn't hit the Woman Winged Angel Carter, it must continue because lol.
Well, the thing you have to wonder is, it's really hurting Lacey's her push, because again, Natalya, I can understand why she lost at last night, but I think to have she should have won this match without question. I think that would have been the best thing for her, because Natty is pretty much, her career is I won't say coming to an end, but she's definitely she's over the hump, so to speak. It was just, I think, if you ask me.
Well, Aleister Black would share some words with the Raw locker room about how cold he is and unstoppable in his fire, or something to that extent. I would assume that WWE had Aleister do this promo on the possibility that he could be on Monday Night Raw after the draft starts, which is going to be on this Friday's SmackDown. Up next, it was the Viking Raiders taking on the Raw Tag Team Champions Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler in a non-title match. Now, for the first half of the match, it was the Raiders having their way with the Raw Tag Champs, basically bouncing Roode from pillar to post and even Eric's knee to Roode. But for some reason, it looked like they called for the commercial spot a bit too soon, because Ziggler would try to call a timeout on the outside, and I guess someone at ringside told him, not time yet, not time yet. So Roode was sent back into the ring, only to be sent back outside of the ring, where Ziggler would once again beg for a timeout and went to commercial break. And Ash, me and you, we were having a bit of a chuckle about that.
Oh, it was just like you could see from sort of the way they were posing. It was just like, oh, well, I guess we're going to a commercial. And then you could probably I didn't hear it enough, but I'm guessing the referee was like, not yet, or something like that. And it was like, oh, God. Somebody done screwed up. Is it my fucking Kevin? Is it?
Well, when they came back from commercial break, Ziggler and Roode were in control and finally started to take it to Eric. That is, until he made the hot tag to Ivar, as the finish of the match came down to Eric and Ivar hitting the Viking Experience, or a somewhat lackluster version of it, on Dolph to pick up the win. Now, usually with their finisher, the person is sent up into the air, almost like a pop-up power slam, but Ziggler either didn't get the jump he wanted, or he wasn't sent up right, because it just felt like one picked him up and just passed him to the other. And that's all it was. But next week on Monday Night Raw, the Viking Raiders will be taking on Roode and Ziggler for the Raw Tag Team Championships. And one has to wonder, Rick, with that match already set in stone, that not only are the Viking Raiders probably set on Monday Night Raw, but so are Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler.
Absolutely, I think they kind of they botched on that one. They kind of, so when you want to have that kind of a match, exactly, that's going to happen. We've seen that happen with even house shows or promos before the matches come 3 or 4 weeks down the road. I think there was one time when John Cena was a champion who was going to face, I don't remember, but it was, you saw the flyer and everything else, and of course it went through. It should have been John Cena versus this person. They should not have mentioned just had it, but unfortunately, WWE looks too much in the future and forgets that, some of these things should not be just promoted. But unfortunately, it is what it is. When it comes to the actual match and Dolph Ziggler not getting the air enough, Dolph Ziggler is probably one of the great persons on the feet. He could do his Dolph Ziggler DDT, and he's great drop kick. So what actually happened? Not exactly sure. It could have been a flaw in both. Just a bad call.
Well, up next, Aleister Black squashed the Singh brothers, aka the Bollywood Boys. Now, even if it was a squash match, Aleister's shots were freaking wicked. One Singh brother got hit with a black mass, and the other got locked into what appeared to me, actually, a very wicked version of a dragon sleeper, with Aleister clasping his hands behind his back. I don't think I've ever seen that variation of a dragon sleeper before. Have you?
I think Tommy might have done it somewhere on the indies, but certainly It's being kept for special occasions. And this is a very special fucking occasion. Because it's a showcase. You know, I would not be surprised if he was a early target in terms of draft picks. However it works, we still don't know how that's working. Are we going to go full on sort of sports like NFL draft, or are we doing it like we've done previously with the drafts, and it'll be whoever shows up on the show is going to be on that brand sort of thing? And mysteries. Ooh.
Up next, it was the OC taking on the Lucha House Party in a 6-man tag team match. Now, why did they do this match? Hell if I know, but for what it was actually...
Reason.
Yeah, for reasons. The Luchas would take it to the OC early on in the match, looking very impressive, and how about that triple moonsault from the House Party as they went to commercial break? That was a thing of beauty. However, it wasn't long until the OC would eventually get the upper hand. Kalisto would go for the Salito del Sol on AJ, but it was countered into a very wicked Pele kick, because it looked like AJ's foot came right down on top of Kalisto's head. Then AJ would connect with a phenomenal forearm on Kalisto to pick up the win for the OC. However, they were not done with the Luchas. Gallows and Anderson would take out Grand Metalik with the Magic Killer. Then they would set up Lince Dorado for the Styles Clash off the middle rope. Now, I don't know why, Rick, they were doing something like this. I don't know if it was to gain more heat or whatnot, but beyond that, it was still a semi-decent 6-man tag.
Personally, I never liked the Lucha House Party. As far as to the match, it was a decent match, but I think it was probably safe face for the OC because they've been kind of getting their ass kicked a little bit. I'm not really a fan of them calling the OC because that's WWE just trying to stick it to New Japan Pro Wrestling, but it just makes them sound like idiots.
Or is it just them trying to be trendy? California.
Oh,
California. That song was good from back in the day. So was the TV series.
Yeah, I wish they had just decided to say, you know what, we're gonna move away from the club and create their own name, because they even did that with a Balor Club. It's just like, get over it, move on.
Well,
I know WWE is not that creative, but go ahead.
No, you can continue.
I said, I know that WWE is like not that creative, but come on, you could at least think of a new name. I'm sure there's somebody in the back that has at least one brain cell working.
Well, I'm pretty sure there
I
are
hope
people...
that was a rhetorical question.
Well, considering what we saw tonight on Raw, that's highly debatable. Up next, it was Miz TV with the Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch and the new SmackDown Women's Champion Charlotte Flair as Miz's guest. Essentially, what this segment was for was to build up both Becky and Charlotte before facing the best women's tag team in WWE, the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, the Kabuki Warriors. Although, I will say this, I had no idea Becky was on a box of cereal. I think it was Golden Crisp, I think they said.
Yeah.
But
she's gonna be the face of Golden Crisp.
Yep, she's gonna... I wonder what it'll take for Charlotte to be the face of Sugar Smacks or something like that. Becky,
considering the way her boobs are, Cheerios.
Anyway, Becky was in control of Kairi for a little while, but it didn't last very long. I said it last night, and I'll say it again tonight. Asuka has some of the deadliest kicks in all of wrestling. Not just women's wrestling, but in all of wrestling. Hot tag time. Becky tagged Charlotte. Kairi brought in Asuka, and Charlotte, the SmackDown Women's Champion, took it to the Kabukis, even hitting her moonsault on the outside, but when Charlotte would go for the figure eight on Kairi, and Asuka would come in the ring and kicked her right in the face. However, when Kairi would go for a top rope cross body, she was caught by the Queen and taken down with the Exploder Suplex. The finish of the match came when Becky locked the disarm her on Kairi. The referee had his back turned, tending to Charlotte, who was still in the ring. Asuka came back into the ring, spewed her green mist all over Becky, and Kairi pinned Becky for the win. The Kabukis would proceed then to take out the Queen until Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross would stick their noses where it didn't belong. All I'm going to say is, Alexa and Nikki, I liked you before, but now I'm starting to like you even less and less. Because you want to mess with my girls. Do not do that.
Jesus, he's fucking too biased. My problem is, I still don't know where the fuck that leaves the division.
What division?
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say. You got the former champs obviously sort of trying to justify wanting a rematch, even though there are no rematches. But in sports there are rematches, so that idea's gonna have to go out the fucking window. At the same time, with Kairi getting the clean win, win.
The pin. Call it the pin.
Becky.
Call it the pin.
No, it's a win.
Okay.
It's a W. That's all that matters to them, W's. That's why they're called WWE. The W only matters.
Yeah,
Get the E out.
Doesn't matter whether you win or lose, but it's hard to do books.
Technically, it's not going to happen at Crown Jewel, but technically, I guess Survivor Series, you're going to be having maybe Lynch versus Kairi, because although that being said, the best thing that has come out of this is Asuka saying to basically Becky tweeted a picture of her with all the green mist over her saying, "Oh, this war's on." Asuka tweeted back, "Oh, you look so tasty." Toe Jam and Earl's Twitter replied, "Cool, bro." And so Asuka replied back, "Yes, I am cool. Thank you."
So you know what that means, Billy? I think you should stop putting some green mist on your face, get Asuka's attention.
I just might. Anyway, up next it was
I need track jizz.
Oh.
I need track jizz.
Up next it was Apollo Crews taking on Ricochet. Now this was kind of a generic match with these two, just showing the crowd what they can do. Not really much to talk about. Now, it wasn't a bad match per se. They didn't really do any bad spots, but it was just kind of a generic bland match. The finish of the match was Ricochet hitting the recoil on Apollo to pick up the win. Ash, did they take the 630 out of Ricochet's moveset?
Probably, because they're stupid. But don't forget, this is Uhaa Nation versus Ricochet. Actually, no, it was certainly Apollo Crews versus Ricochet, because everybody got fucking muted.
Yeah.
Well, you have to wonder.
Go ahead.
When it comes to the 630, if it might just be kind of during a special pay-per-view or a special title match. Also, because you do a 630, you just fuck up that once, and somebody's neck's gonna get broken. So even though he specialized it, unfortunately, shit like that happens. But again, that's just my thoughts on the situation.
The main event. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, as Apollo Crews, unfortunately, he's just a complete jobbed out. And unfortunately, I don't see his career going anywhere unless, of course, he's there for 11 years and finally gets a title match like Kofi Kingston did.
Who knows? Maybe 10 years down the line, we could see that. Anyway, the main event, and you'll be on the Discord or whatever the modus operandi would be for internet calls, and you'd be like, "I told you so! I told you so! I told you so!" Anyway, the main event segment was Tyson Fury demanding an apology from Braun Strowman, who didn't really give him one. Fury would then take a jab at Strowman not winning any world championships, and then the fight was on. The ring was flooded with security, but they really couldn't hold either man back from getting to each other. Now, whoever tried to show Tyson Fury how to throw kayfabe jabs might need a little bit more work on that.
It was blatantly gay. It was blatantly Shane.
Oh, jeez. But And you know what?
That's the problem.
The only thing I'm going to say to this is who booked this crap.
Yeah. And unfortunately, you know, this is just a cheap segue for the Crown Jewel because you know that you're going to have a fight. But again, but yeah, again, WWE is so used to having, you know, wrestlers versus celebrities, and it always comes down where the celebrity wins. You know, and
that being said, I prefer to see celebrities taking the blood money of Saudi and having okay matches rather than over-the-hill wrestlers that should be retired, nearly murdering people. I'm looking at you, Goldberg and Taker.
The mid-card locker
no,
room...
Taker going to be retiring soon.
The mid-card locker room then came out to try to separate the two giants, and for a short period of time, they did as Strowman went back to the backstage area. Strowman would then cut a promo being furious for Fury. That's easy to say. Furious for Fury. Anyway. Insulting him in his house in WWE and ran back out once again to fight with Tyson as Raw went off the air. I'm sorry, as Nitro went off the air.
We'll see you on Thunder.
We'll see you on Thunder. As we see you guys for overall score and thoughts. Is WWE even trying anymore with their main brand? First, we were promised a match with Rusev and Randy Orton and instead got a lame porno type of promo with Lashley, who still can't cut a promo to save his fucking life, and Lana, who I've said already, only has her tits and blonde hair going for her. I will admit, Evans and Natalya was better than I thought it was going to be. I think the Viking Raiders could be taking the Raw Tag Team Championships next week. I wonder how Eric and Sarah Logan would celebrate that title win. Aleister Black can still make me say ouch, even in a squash match, and that Dragon Sleeper was really, really wicked. OC taking on the Luchas was okay, but did the Luchas have to get destroyed? I said it before and I'll say it again, the Kabuki Warriors are the best women's tag team. Nikki and Alexa should butt out of their business. Apollo and Ricochet just felt bland, and I think the only real highlight of the night, other than watching the Kabukis kick butt, was the confrontation with Tyson Fury and Braun Strowman. Overall score of Raw this week gets a 2.5 out of 5. Oh, by the way, very quickly mention, the only mention of Seth Rollins and The Fiend tonight was in a video package promo which was edited heavily by Kevin Dunn in WWE to basically weed out all of the boos we heard last night during their match. But now, overall score of Raw this week gets a 2.5 out of 5, with best match of the night going to anything the Kabukis are doing, with worst segment of the night going to Lana and Lashley in the bedroom. I think only prepubescent teenage boys got a kick out of that segment, for obvious reasons. Rick, over to you. Overall score and thoughts of Raw this week?
Considering, like I said, I watched a part of it and then I watched the highlights later on. I'm gonna give it, like, again, 2.5. As we've been talking about it, WWE has become very complacent because they don't have any real competition. Once, and I've said this has been for years, once they bought a WCW, they went to hit the auto cruise, and it's gone now to the point where it's like, okay, we don't give a fuck. Even though people over the summer, nobody was buying tickets, they even had to shut down shows. But I digress. The Kabuki Warriors, the tag team, yes, I have to go. That was a great idea. Aleister Black, I like the finisher, but I want to see him wrestle some more real competition. And I think as far as the whole Braun Strowman, fucking Tyler, whatever his fucking name is.
Tyson Fury.
See, that's how much I was actually paying attention. So, whatever. Other than that, there was, like, again, nothing really stood out. The last woman standing, I think it hurt Lacey Evans as opposed to Natalya.
And you already said you scored 2.5 out of 5. Okay, Ashley, over to you. Overall score and thoughts on Raw this week?
Sorry, I'm just seeing Cesaro get fucked up by Tyson Fury because that's what they did for the Dark match. I guess. Well, Dark event that, you know, it just cut off. One and a half. The entire show was fucking unnecessary apart from the closing angle, which, I mean, Fury is an interesting character. If you look at a lot of his early stuff, you see that he had some very bigoted views. Whether he still has them or not, I don't know.
Maybe he and Lars Sullivan could be buddies.
Backstage. He's got enough kids to. That would be the interesting replacement for Braun if they had to. But yeah, the worst segment of the show was everything up to the main event. Because some of the booking doesn't make any sense. Some of the execution, the storyline with, you know, that is getting rather sort of tiresome. Because I'm pretty sure the 55-year-olds are not interested in that shit. They just go to their vintage VHS copy of Debbie Does Dallas 4.
I think Billy has the first three. He's into it and showed up, but I think we can.
He can't do. He was wanting generic porn music for something to do with the video, and I had to find it for him.
Was he doing the peanut butter jelly dance?
No.
And anyway, guys, I wonder if Lana and Lashley needed a little bit of this.
A little bit of the bubbly.
And the reason I wanted the music is if you think back to the Lana Lashley segment, they were actually playing generic porn music as they were in the bedroom. So I just kind of wanted something to parody that to show people how stupid it was.
Now I realize the music that I should have used. I should have used the bloody porno music that they use in the stupid sex scenes in Ride to Hell Retribution when they have sex with their clothes on and clearly no sort of gaps for anything to be inserted in various places.
Well, anyway, guys, before this video gets removed from YouTube,
2030.
Before this video gets
it's there. The videos are there on YouTube because there's nothing. The videos are there on YouTube because it's literally just like a person with a t-shirt and trousers on having sex with a girl in overalls where there's clearly no way that they could even sort of, do the thing. They're basically like grinding on each other like it's some sort of weird version of bloody Demi Moore striptease.
Anyway, guys, what I want to know from you
Right
guys...
to Hell Retribution.
Guys.
Try and find it somewhere because it doesn't exist anymore because the company went under and it got delisted off Steam. I'm one of the few people... Am I going to have to stream this for Billy's entertainment?
No. What I want to know from you guys out there, the viewers and subscribers, your thoughts on Monday Night Raw tonight. What are your overall scores? What are your thoughts? Definitely want to hear about Monday Night Raw, not about any of that other stuff that you guys were talking about. We definitely want to hear what you guys have to say.
You guys got picked up. I wanted to say, we want to know your thoughts about Billy's reactions.
Put your comments in the comment section below. If you guys like this video, you're a weirdo, but make sure you slam that like button. Like and share. Rick, for some odd reason, I'm going to ask you, where can fans check you out on HWR?
Well, we're over on a Facebook group chat, which is HWR chat room. We usually was covering live Raw tonight. I could not give a shit, so I didn't even bother. But we also do a lot of reviews, reactions, blogs, and so much more. So head on over there, HWR chat room.
Shout out to the John Squad. By the way, guys, if you want to see more of WrestleDOWN, if you want to see more of WrestleDOWN right here on the channel, you know the two ways you got to do it. You got to drop the subscribe button and hit that bell icon to turn on notifications, and that way you guys will never miss out on another video right here on my channel. So my special thanks to Rick Head of HWR and the Studley Man Ashley. I'm your friendly neighborhood wrestle gamer, reminding all of you guys out there to just stay awesome. Bye, guys! Reasons. Oh my god, I need a little bit of this.
A little bit of the bubbly.
And you know, guys, you realize that when it comes to Charlotte with her own cereal, it should have been Ginger Snaps.
Oh.